Well, what is going on, guys? Luke here today, and we need to talk about Palantir Stock. Palantir just reported earnings, and of course it immediately started to trade lower. And then the downgrades came and other negative news hit the stock, and it was down almost 20% just like that, with no end in sight to the bleeding. So let's discuss what happened with the earnings, what is going on with the downgrades themselves, and is there more pain to come, and what you should do with your Palantir stock. So hit that like button and subscribe to this channel if you like the truth without the hype. And don't forget to get your completely free download, My Stock Investing Checklist, to help you out. And check out the Market Insiders private group while you're there, as we can directly help you avoid the critical mistake of panic selling when Palantir is going down like it is right now. And we can help you avoid being afraid to buy more Palantir stock at $16 or better, like the group did just a few months ago. And then you might have been able to avoid the FOMO feeling you had when Palantir shot back up to almost $30. You see all of my buys and many members' buys in real time, plus you get 4 free courses, live weekly Q&As, exclusive videos, and a ton more. And the discount pricing expires today, Sunday, so the price goes up forever on November 15th, so check out the pinned comment for the details. And before blasting me for promoting it, I have no ads, no sponsors. This is what YouTube pays me in a month, and I give half of that and half the group's proceeds to charity. So what the heck happened with Palantir's earnings call? Well, as you can see right there, they beat earnings all the way around. Now, we all know sometimes you can have an earnings beat and still fall afterwards, and that usually happens when the stock has an insane 20%, 40%, even an 80% move or so ahead of the earnings. That is exactly why so many people were frustrated with Tesla's earnings calls last year. You're probably going down no matter what happens on an earnings call when you have a 40% run just before the call, and Tesla was routinely doing that or more before the earnings calls. But this wasn't the case with Palantir stock, so what the heck is really going on? Well, there are really 2 big reasons why Palantir dropped after the earnings call. The first was the downgrade of Palantir to $19 per share, down from $25 per share by RBC, and a price target of $20 per share, down from $25 per share too by Wolfe Research. Those are huge downgrades and really increased the selling pressure rather quickly on the stock. Now, I will remind you that the average analyst price, which I put absolutely no stock into, is sitting at $24.50, but the market moved on those downgrades anyways. Personally, I could care less about all of this. I look at the numbers and then do my own analysis. Now, these analysts cited revenue slowing specifically as the major reason in both cases, which was true, but it was also explainable. But that is where the second reason comes into play with Palantir stock dropping after the earnings call. And that would be management did nothing to help the understanding of how the company makes money and is actually doing financially from a financial perspective. They missed all kinds of things. Here's the truth with Palantir stock. The numbers do not make sense because they're a different company altogether. It's a completely new and really odd business model, and it doesn't translate into nice buckets that fit into the traditional bucket structures. And I honestly think that, Palantir themselves are kind of sandbagging some of the numbers as well. It's just new and innovative, which means you have to explain it. And that is management's role on these earnings calls, is to do just that. We harp a ton on management teams on this channel being critical to a company's success. And one of the critical roles of management in a young public company is to communicate to Wall Street what the heck the numbers actually mean. Now slow down, whoa. I understand that they have been around for over a decade now, but they are young in terms of these earnings calls, and they missed the boat to communicate the numbers properly. If you listen to the earnings call, they sounded uninformed at best and either unable to answer the questions or they didn't know the answers to the questions, and that is a bad look and will almost always cause a reaction like we are getting with Palantir. Now, I'm not saying it's right or fair. I'm just saying it's part of management's duties to communicate this to everyone out there. They get paid millions of dollars to do so it's not too much to ask, and they hurt shareholders when they don't do it effectively. Yes, Wall Street is missing the boat, but I blame management as part of the problem with that for the time being. They're not completely off the hook, guys. You got to put some blame on them. So combine all of that along with the fact that Cathie Wood sold some coming into the earnings and then rebought after the dip, which of course the latter was completely ignored by Wall Street and the media, and you have a recipe for a lot of selling and a lot of downward pressure on the stock that will persist in the short term. So what the heck should you do in the meantime? I mean, how do you deal with potential panic-inducing fall that has started, which will then be followed by what will essentially be another rocket ship back up when it picks up momentum again? How do you deal with the roller coaster ride? Well, the best way to do it is to tell you exactly what I'm doing. First, I'm not going to panic sell during the downward pressure that is currently happening with Palantir. I will simply hold and look to buy based upon the price targets that I set before the downtrend ever started. And I will not FOMO buy during the inevitable run up. I will instead buy based upon my price targets, and when the stock is running up and I feel like I'm missing out, I'm just going to basically step away and not make a trade based on emotions, but based on decisions made when I created my plan. I know those decisions were made with analysis and not emotions, and one creates wealth over the long term, and the other one creates a scenario where you buy high and you sell low. I personally like the first option better, and that's the one I'm gonna go with. And it's okay if you're not comfortable with any of that. It doesn't matter. DCAing into Palantir is absolutely a good way to go. I've been saying for a long time now that Wall Street does not understand what Palantir does, and it still is unsure how to value it, and it clearly doesn't understand the numbers. So our job as investors is to understand that dynamic and then create our plans to deal with that dynamic. Bottom line, their lack of understanding is our gain in the end, so I'll be looking to add more shares on this dip. But comment down below if you're looking to buy or sell Palantir and where you think Palantir will be in 1 year. I mean, is it a $20 stock, or will we be at $40 or more by this time next year? I would love to hear what you think. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.